song to song. Um, well, first of all, this is a note which must not get attention. It doesn't. But if somebody happens to think of watching this, don't. Because it's biased, it's wrong, it's politically incorrect, mea culpa a priori ahead of. I mean, I don't even know what I'll say, but I have some idea. It's nonsense. Most of the material here is perhaps with the notion I expressed that, that now we have artificial AI, it needs material, it needs to look at what happens, what's on the net, what makes sense, what doesn't, and this will be in the area of, well, look at this, they're so smart, in a billionth of a second they take everything in, 10,000 hours or so I place, and they get it. They diagnose. Maybe it would be used to see what the human brain when it doesn't work properly, what it can reveal, and then, as I said, coming back on the matter of the movie. Well, Terrence Malick, that's a pleasure to watch. Those images. It's well known, it's iconic, in fact, it's also used in a critical sense. I looked at reviews, prominent critics who have so much and so funny, and it's so good to read often, when they're solid critics, not amateurs like here, in the sense that, for instance, that a movie which is trying to be like a filmmaker who's trying to be like Terrence Malick. He watched too many Terrence Malick movies. So, in other words, yes, he's trying to replicate, but it doesn't, and it's, in fact, it has the opposite effect. So, having established that this is a great filmmaker, that's wonderful, classic, well, yes, films that and stunning way of filming and beauty of nature, and so much more. There is the criticism, I think Christopher Plummer was taking him on so hard. But that's in passing, and maybe I'll check to remind myself of the thing when he was married. He took Plummer out, and then it was, what the hell are you doing? It doesn't add up. It's not. But it's a different style. I'm going with the flow. It's not rigorous. On the other hand, I remember reading about the making of the Coen Brothers movie. The very first with the killing, and because they didn't have, at the beginning they didn't have money, they had to be very careful, and they had to plan ahead, and every move, every detail was so that when they have the camera, they have to be on the spot and right on everything, because they didn't have, okay, let's try again and again, and then let's stay and think. No, time is limited, money, something like that. I'm not saying, money gets like Cameron or Cruise with a Mission Impossible, $300 million to make a movie. But, so, you would look forward to this, Terrence Malick. Besides, you have Ryan Gosling, Michael Fassbender. But then I'm getting to my main mistake here. silliness of this, or the atrocity. Rooney Mara, it's not like Kingsley Amis, the best writer of comedy, as critics have said, of the last half of the last century, 20th century. But for me, it is the one I admire most, respects most for the last 5 years or ever since I've learned of him with Lucky Jim among the top 100 all time. The Time magazine's list of best 100 novels, it's there. So he was asked about God at one point, and he said, it's not that I don't believe in him, I hate him. With Rooney Mara, it's not just that I disagree with the style. The style irritates me. More than that, I was thinking it's annoying. It's more, to me, it's an example of how you should not have a performance. It's how not to. Okay, so you have, of course, a lineup there that is so wonderful. Meryl Streep, Scarlett Johansson, so many French, Catherine Deneuve, Isabella Gianni, you have Romain Duris, you have Olivier Gourmet, many giants, and so this is how you do it. Okay? And then, for me, and she's the example of not just funny, it's something I don't like. I mean, it's but it's me, as I said at the beginning. It's a wrong take on a movie, on a performance, because it's so vitiated by just an opposition to a perspective, and it comes down also, and I think, pretty sure, to Blink, another classic of psychology, Malcolm Gladwell, the power of thinking without thinking. This idea, this in fact, theory of thin slicing. In seconds, we form an opinion, and we stay with it. So much so, I mean, and he looks at it, it's demonstrated in many ways. It's not the best choice, the best decision you make there in seconds. And he gives in the book examples of catastrophes. The killing of Diallo, I think, an innocent man by the police in New York some years ago, but that happens all the time, in fact, because of these wrong decisions taken in seconds. And then the Vincennes airplane carrier, an airplane comes in their area, they send messages, the plane doesn't respond, so the captain of the Vincennes sends a missile, shoots down the aircraft. The aircraft was a civilian aircraft, Iranian, with a few hundred people on board. They all died. Decision taken in seconds. It's true they didn't respond, but those on the ship didn't have to take a decision. It's an enemy, would destroy it. So anyway, CEOs of the top 500 companies are extremely tall. A third, well, mostly white male. That's one bias, serious problem. But then also they're very tall, extremely tall. A third of them, they're at the very top. But in the population of large, they're only about 3%. Thereabouts, you have to check the figures, but it's approximately that. Which means they're selected based on serious CVs, but CVs, impressive CVs, we will find that those who are 175 centimeters tall, 168, 177, not even 190 centimeters, which is what those guys are on average. So the decision is taken when they step into the room and they're so tall. It's called the effect, the Harding effect. The presidents, leaders. You also have the Napoleon effect. You see that at Putin, for instance. You have short guys who try to compensate for their height. But to me, this is a performance I really can't stand. That's the problem.